This podcast is not for the overly sensitive, the terminally optimistic, or anyone who thinks dating in your 50s is a whimsical romantic comedy. Listener discretion is advised.
Still swiping, still hoping, still dealing with bios that say no drama. You're in the right place. This is Girls Can Tell. It's not me, it's you. Hosted by Trent Erickson. Here to say what everyone else is too polite to.
Hi, I'm Trent. Welcome to Girls Can Tell, the podcast where we take on the weird, wild world of dating after 50. If this is your first time listening, welcome. If you're a return listener, congrats on surviving another week. Each episode, I'll bring in a mix of rants, reality checks, and hard truths no one else wants to say out loud. And today, we're coming in hot, so buckle up. How about this weather? Let's start with the basics. Online messaging. You finally match with someone who almost seems somewhat normal, maybe even decent. You sit up a little straighter, maybe even smile as the new message comes in. You brace yourself for the enigmatic charm or out-of-the-world wit coming your way and some thoughtful cleverness sprinkled in. And instead, you get, "Hey," or, "How are you?" Or maybe if you're lucky, "How about this weather we're having? Pretty neat, hey?" That's it? That's your pitch? Look, if your first message sounds like something you'd say to a stranger in an elevator, don't be shocked when it goes nowhere. When you're over 50, time's not exactly on your side, and we're not swiping just to pass time between TikTok scrolls and eye doctor appointments here. Your first message should at least feel like you put more than 7 seconds of thought into it. Ask something specific, refer to something in their bio, make a joke even if it's a bad one, but try. Show me you're alive and have the capacity for engagement beyond the kind of small talk you usually reserve for the mailman. And let's talk bios while we're at it. A blank bio tells me, this is the level of effort you can expect from me in a relationship. If you can't be bothered to write a quick sentence about yourself, what do you expect me to do? Just surmise your personality from scratch? I shouldn't have to guess what makes you interesting because you can't be bothered to tell me yourself. Trust me, nobody's that hot. A good profile is like a trailer for a great movie. If your trailer's just a blank screen that says, fun-loving, drama-free, I already know the plot. It's boring, forgettable, and probably ends with you slow fading while responding to messages to me every 4 days or so. Mirror in the bathroom. Now let me address what might be the biggest epidemic on online dating next to people saying they love to travel. It's terrible photos. Stop taking selfies in your disgusting bathroom mirror. You know who you are. The mirror's covered in streaks, the lighting's a crime scene, and your phone is blocking half your face. And behind you, a toilet. Sometimes even with the seat up. And bonus points if there's a pile of laundry in the corner behind you or a toothpaste explosion on the sink. This is your first impression, and it looks like someone's last known photo? I suppose in some ways I should thank you, because now I know just to swipe left and avoid having to find out how disgusting you live later on. And don't even try to argue that that's the best you could do. Tripods exist, timer apps exist, friends, they exist. Hell, strangers on the street will take your picture if you ask nicely and aren't weird about it. Although here in Chicago, they'd probably just steal your phone, but that's another story. You need to look your best. Not like you wandered in a gas station restroom and thought, well, this'll do. We can see the effort you put in or lack thereof. So put on a decent outfit, use a tripod, have good lighting, frame yourself up, clean up your surroundings, take 50 photos, then pick the best ones. It's not like they're taking up space anywhere. Even a small effort goes a long way here. Bathroom selfies tell me something else. They say you haven't thought this through. You haven't tried. It screams, this is as good as it gets. Take it or leave it. And most of us, well, we left it. Red skies at night. All right, let's talk about red flags. You know the things you see on dating profiles or you hear early on in dating that sound harmless until you realize, sometimes too late, that they're actually a warning. Let's run through a few, shall we? I'm still close with my ex. At first, this sounds mature, emotionally evolved, and a sign they don't carry baggage, right? Wrong. It means they A, obviously never fully got over their past relationship, B, have zero boundaries, and C, narcissistically like to keep backup plans around just in case. Stay together for the kids? Cordial with one another? Absolutely. Remaining besties with your ex? Absolutely not. Women have no idea how men operate, and you're wasting your time with someone who can't let go of their ex, or you'll just end up being her next buddy. Hang out in a barbershop long enough, and eventually you're going to get a haircut. And you don't need exes around constantly in their ear telling them, They look a bit shaggy. Don't entertain this nonsense.
I'm just figuring things out right now.
Translation: I have no idea what I want, and I'm hoping you'll do all the emotional heavy lifting while I explore my options. If someone tells you they don't know what they're looking for, believe them. Don't try to be the one who helps them figure it out. It's like unpaid labor that leaves you unemployed as soon as they do figure things out.
I don't believe in labels.
Oh, you don't believe in labels? Cool, I don't believe in wasting my time. This one is a classic dodge. It means they want the perks of a relationship, companionship, emotional intimacy, sex, without any other responsibility that comes with those things. Unless you're looking for a situationship that lasts until they do find something that definitely does have a label, cheat. Run.
I'm really spontaneous. I don't like to make plans.
Read. I'm flaky, non-committal, and I don't want to be held accountable for showing up on time or at all. Spontaneity can be fun in a relationship, but if they can't plan a cup of coffee ahead of time, they're not planning to stick around as long as it takes to brew one.
Drama-free.
Oh, the dreaded drama-free claim. The more someone insists they're drama-free, the more likely they are the common denominator in every dramatic episode in their life. This phrase is a giant red flag that usually means, I cause chaos, but I think it's always someone else's fault. Only crazy people say, I'm not crazy, because they're the only ones that would ever need to say that. Think about it.
I just got out of something and I'm not really looking for anything serious, but I'm open to it.
No, you're not. You're looking for a rebound who won't ask too many questions. You're trying to heal by human Band-Aid. Don't be the Band-Aid because, well, I mean, Band-Aids are just gross anyway, but don't be the Band-Aid. Not all red flags are obvious, and most of them are disguised in pretty language and harmless sounding phrases that make you think, oh, maybe I'm overreacting to this. You're not. You're finally thinking clearly. So next time someone says something that seems a little off, trust your gut. If it doesn't hold up to what you know to be true in the world, then it's just dressed up horseshit with good manners. Whatever that means. Mother love bone. Okay, this next part, it's a little controversial, and I already know that you're going to get defensive, but bear with me. Enmeshment is a concept in therapy where personal boundaries are blurred and family members are overly involved in each other's lives, often to the detriment of personal autonomy. Enmeshment often stems from a mother's deep-seated emotional needs, which she unconsciously seeks to fulfill through her relationship with her son. And this can manifest in many ways. Overprotection, where the mother can become excessively involved in her son's life, making decisions for him and shielding him from potential harm or failure. This overprotection can stifle the son's ability to develop independence and self-confidence. Emotional dependence. The mother may rely heavily on her son for emotional support, treating him more like a partner than a child. Often this is due to a significant other not being able to meet their emotional needs. This can create a heavy burden for the son who might feel responsible as the replacement to care for his mother's emotional well-being. Lack of boundaries. This may be a lack of clear boundaries, which can lead to an unhealthy level of intimacy and a blurred sense of individuality. Guilt shaming. Mothers often use these tactics to cause their sons to feel an overwhelming need to meet their emotional needs, sometimes at the expense of their own happiness and often at the expense of the romantic partner's happiness. We need to talk about how we're seeing more and more mothers on dating apps who are clearly emotionally enmeshed with their sons. I'm talking about the ones who treat their sons like a husband or boyfriend and even let them sleep in the same bed with them like it's normal. It's not. You know the type. He's in every photo with her. They're pressed up close. He's got his arm around her like they're on a date. They even take the extra step to write bios that say, "My son is my world," and post pictures that scream, "and possibly his prom date, too." Listen, I get that you love your son. That's great. You should. But there's a line. And when every emotional need you have, companionship, emotional support, even affection, is being met by your son, that's not maternal love. That's dependency and inappropriate. That's emotional enmeshment. And it's not healthy. It's gross. I know you're going to say, he's just affectionate. We're just close. Sure. But what is he learning about real relationships by being your primary emotional partner? What is he learning about setting boundaries when there are none? About independence? About how to treat a woman he dates who isn't you, if he ever does? And what do you expect a potential partner to do? Compete with your son for intimacy and emotional support? Be okay with the fact that you still cuddle and often sleep in the same bed with a grown man who smells like Axe body spray and Captain Crunch? This is not about shame. It's about awareness. Emotional enmeshment happens slowly. You normalize it, you call it closeness, But what it really is an inability to let go. You shouldn't be on the apps meeting men because you're already taken with your own son. Here's the takeaway. At some point, you stopped raising your son and started emotionally dating him, and neither of you noticed. You probably wouldn't even think to bring it up in therapy because it feels so normal to you now, or you're too embarrassed to bring it up. And that's the danger. That's the real problem. If you're listening and you're offended, good. It means it hit home in some way. Now you can look into and get help for it. Ask your therapist. Ask his therapist. Or better yet, start talking to and treating your son like you're his parent, not his partner. Set clear boundaries and stick to them. Let go and stop sharing your bed and intimate thoughts with them. Because if you do, you might both just stand a chance at a healthy romantic relationship. Final thought. Look, dating over 50 is already hard. It doesn't need to be made harder because you're unwilling to clean your mirror, write a bio, or recognize that your child is not your boyfriend. You want a real connection? Start by getting real with yourself. And if you're out there making these mistakes, that's okay. We all make mistakes and we've all been there at a certain point. But now that you know, you can fix it because someone else out there is looking for a real connection too. And maybe they're just waiting for you to show up, having enough room emotionally for them. You've been listening to Girls Can Tell. It's not me, it's you with Trent Erickson. New episodes drop every Tuesday. Subscribe, share, tell a friend, and try not to take it personally because girls can tell. And it's definitely not me.